And the topic of this newsletter is going to be instant tests that you can use to instantly read a woman's level of attraction or romantic interest in you, so you don't waste your time talking to girls you got no chance with, or asking girls out on dates who are just going to tell you no or never answer the phone when you call her. Anyways, I've got an email here from a guy who is, I guess he found out about my work recently, and he's got some questions. He says, "Hi Corey, my situation is that I travel a lot. I'm currently traveling around Europe, and therefore I have the opportunity to meet a lot of women. But I'm often only in a city for a few days or at most 1 week, so I can't put into practice all of your advice, waiting a week to call, for example, because by then I'll probably be in another country." And I want to stop you right there and say, what you got to understand about my book is what I teach you the way that I learned, how I overcame this stuff. Why? Because when I like a girl and I'm interested in her and I can tell she's interested in me, I'll walk right up to her and I'll look her right in the eye and just say, "I want you." Or I'll ask for her phone number, or I'll make a date right on the spot. Now for most guys, that absolutely fucking terrifies the shit out of them to do something like that. So they want to use like low risk or low rejection risk strategies where they don't really have to risk anything. And so what I talk about in my book is the strategies that I used, and then later in my book I talk about the kind of relationships that I have now, where I just simply walk up to a girl, arrange a date in a matter of seconds after we've met, and I move on, and then the date is set, and then from the time we go on that first date, it's like we're always together after that. And but you got to work up to that. It takes a lot of practice and taking the time to implement the things that I talk about, so you can see that what I'm talking about actually working in your own life, because that's what builds your confidence. Repetition is the mother of skill, and so the more successes you have, the more confident you become. And so when you're meeting these women, it's like really in a matter of seconds you can tell whether she's into you or not. And so here's the things that you want to look for when you first start talking to a girl to gauge her interest. The first one is doing the name. And so when you meet a chick and you start talking to her, instead of volunteering your name, going, "Oh, hi, I'm Bob, what's your name?" I'll say, "What's your name?" So, "Oh, my name's Shannon." And I was like, "Hey, it's nice to meet you, Shannon." And if she likes you, if she has some kind of romantic interest, but she could also just be being nice, she'll say, "What's your name?" Or she'll say, "It's nice to meet you too, what's your name?" But if she has no interest in you, she'll probably just go, and usually listen to the tone of her voice to be kind of flat and there's no enthusiasm. She'll just go, "Oh, it's nice to meet you too." And when a woman does that, that communicates that she has no real attraction for you, or at least it's really not that high. And so when I hear that kind of a response, I'm going to move on, because there's no reason to go to the next step. But if she asks you for your name, and so when you're standing there and you're talking to a girl and you start asking her what she does, and I mean, I personally, I mean, if you want to get right to the chase, so it's like when you're talking to her, the things that women are going to do is, like, if they like you, they're going to start twirling their finger around their hair, they'll start fluffing their hair with their hands. They'll laugh at your stupid jokes. They'll think that the things that you're saying are funny. They'll smile a lot. They'll reach over. They'll touch your arm. They may stand really close to the point where they're literally bumping into you. I mean, the higher a woman's level of interest is in you, the more she's going to do these things. And so as you're sitting there chatting with a girl for a couple of minutes, she's laughing at your jokes, she's touching your arm, and she's playing with her hair. Those are all signs that communicate that there's a real good chance that you got a shot with her. And a great way in the conversation, if you want to just get the phone number, is just say, "Hey, I got to run, but I'd like to talk to you more. I'd like to talk to you again. What's your number?" Pull out your phone, look at your phone, and ask her for the number. But if in the position that you're in, you really don't have a lot of time. And so if the girl asks you for your name, just like I talk about in my book, which communicates interest, just simply say, "Hey, I'd really love to get together and meet you out for a drink." And I wouldn't tell her that you're going to be out of here in 3 days or 2 days. You can tell her that when you're sitting down and having a drink with her. Why? Because it's really none of her fucking business when you're talking to her. Because at that point, you don't even know if she's even going to want to go on a date with you yet. And so if she passes all those little subtle things, like she's twirling her hair around her finger and she's asking you questions, personal questions about yourself, that communicates interest. If you're talking to a girl and you like her, you're going to want to know things about her, right? If you're fascinated by her, you're going to want to ask her questions. And so all those little subtle things, she's touching your arm, she's playing with her hair, all communicate a high level of interest. And so I would just go right into setting a date on the spot. Just say, hey, let's get together for drinks. When are you free over the next few days? She'll tell you, and they say, great, how about we meet tonight, or how about we meet tomorrow night at such and such place at whatever the time it is. And say, great, what's your number? After you've made the date, get the number, and then text it to her and just say, if something comes up, I'll call you, and vice versa. But otherwise, let's just agree that we'll meet at such and such place tomorrow night. Okay, great. And then the date's set. And that's all you have to do. You just simply show up, meet her for drinks, and then go right into the process. And since you're not going to wait a week to call her again for the second date, the idea is if you do everything right and she has a high level of attraction for you, you should be sleeping with her on the first night. There's a real good chance that you can pull it off if you follow the things that I teach. So he also says he's got some other questions here. He says, I've tried being direct and telling girls that I want to kiss them or find them attractive, sexy, and cute. I guess because these are women that he's talking about online. And he says, I'm wondering why this happens and if there is another way of quickly finding out the level of interest before traveling to their city so as just to spend my time on the girls that are really interested. And if you want to meet a lot of women on Facebook, the best thing that you can do is to have a busy, active social life. And so if you're traveling around, anytime you see a hot girl, that's really, just say, hey, you're beautiful, I got to get a picture with you. And take a picture of the two of you and just post it on Facebook. Because when other women that know you see all these pretty girls that you're meeting, and especially if you're sending them locations like all these different cities that you're in, they're just going to think, wow, this guy's really popular women. He's got beautiful women in every city. And so women that like you, that find you attractive, or that are maybe hoping that maybe you'll come visit them in their city, and they're on your friends list, they'll see the fact that you're interacting with all of these women. It'll cause some of them to start reaching out to you. Because I'm lazy. I'm not going to go reaching out to chicks on Facebook or YouTube or any other online dating sites, because I like meeting women in person, because I like to get right to the point, because I can look in her eyes and tell if she's really into me or not. But I would look at Facebook as just another avenue to meet women. And so if you've got a busy social life, if you're putting pictures of you having a great time with all these beautiful women, you don't have to be sleeping with any of them or dating any of them. Just taking pictures, looking like you're having a hell of a great time, and other women that know you, and they'll see that stuff in their news feed, and they'll just probably assume that you're sleeping with all these women, that you're popular with women, even though you might not be. And it just gives you another group of prospects. I wouldn't reach out to women on Facebook unless you know you're going to be in the city, and you just send them a simple text, just, hey, you seem like a really amazing woman. I'm going to be in your city next week or next month. I'd love to get together and meet up for a drink. Are you going to be available then? ? And send that and see what they say. Maybe they'll give you just say, shoot me your number and I'll text you when I get in town. Maybe we can meet up for something if you're available. Just leave it like that. That's all you got to say. And if she's interested and she's into it and she's down with it, she'll send you an email telling you that she's cool with it. He says, for example, I met a girl last night at a party and I found her incredibly cute. I did my best to be laid back. I let her come and go as she pleased. And when she left, I asked her for her number. The next day, I sent her a text. I'm leaving the city tonight and Italy. I'll be in Italy tomorrow to see if she wanted to meet. And she's texted back that she had to study for exams. The other thing you got to remember is just because a woman gives you her phone number does not mean that she likes you. And a lot of guys make that assumption that, hey, just because I got the number, it means that she likes me. Because a lot of women, I'd say probably most women, they'll give out their number just to get rid of a guy, because they'll let the dude talk to her voicemail, or they'll just ignore his text and they just assume, well, he'll figure it out when I don't respond and he'll go away, because most guys do when they ignore him. So don't take it personally. It's just one chick you talked to and you tried and she said no. But what I would have done differently with this particular girl, especially if you're leaving, have a good time with her. I mean, if she really likes you and she wants to talk to you, she's not going to want to go and walk around and talk to other people. And those are things that you need to pay attention to. Twirling her hair around her finger, was she doing that? Was she touching your arm when she talked? Did she ask you anything about yourself? Was she into you? I mean, those are subtle things. I think that you probably did notice those things. But like I said, repetition's mother skill. And so you're learning, especially if you're traveling around, you're going to meet a lot of different women, a lot of women you can practice with. And he says, on the other hand, I found that touching a girl generally has a positive effect, and what started as an experiment trying to see how far I could get with touch and seeing what happened if I touched every girl I met a bit more than I should has led to sex quite a few times now. That's awesome. The reason like in my book, I tell guys to wait for the woman to start touching, because that's just a simple touch in the arm or bumping against you. I mean, you can reach out and start doing that, like doing the same thing, because it makes touching okay. And then after you do it a few times, then just back off a little bit and see if she starts reciprocating and touching you more. And then if she starts touching you, then you reciprocate again and start touching her, pull her in closer to you, look at her lips, then into her eyes, then down into her lips again, and then back into her eyes over the course of 4 or 5 seconds. And if she looks at your lips, just pull her in because you're already touching each other, and just go for the kiss. Because when a woman looks at your lips and you've looked at her, when a woman looks at your lips, it simply means that she's thinking about kissing you. And you should just fucking go for it. So those are little subtle things of sensory acuity that you need to pay attention for. And so you're obviously finding that touching works for you, and you can do it in a way that's not creeping out women. And so I'd say that's great. Keep doing that. It's whatever you feel comfortable with. But the idea is to pay attention, because where guys fuck up in the touching department is they start touching women and they completely ignore the fact that she's kind of a little standoffish, or she's not touching or reciprocating in any way. Like if you're constantly putting your arm around a girl and her arms stay down at her side and she never puts her arm around you, you got to pay attention to stuff like that. You got to be aware of that. And also sometimes you could be touching each other and then you got your arm around her and then she's got her arm around you and then she'll remove her arm. And when she does that, then you should take your arm away and wait for her to start touching you again, because those are little subtle tests that a woman uses to test how you're going to react when she pulls away. And if you just let her go and then she starts, so it's like when she reaches out to touch you again, then you slowly reciprocate. That way you're all, because it's going to fluctuate. Women you're dating, women that are your girlfriends, as you're walking and you're holding hands, they're not always going to want to hold hands with you. And when they let go, let their hand go. And then don't grab their hand again until they reach back for it, because that's just the way women are. It's like little subtle testing. Most guys think that stuff is meaningless, but it means a lot, and that's why you got to pay attention to it. So if you've got a question or a topic that you want to ask me in a future video newsletter, go to my website, click the Contact Me tab, which is going to be on the left-hand side of your screen. Send me 1 to 2 paragraphs max detailing your questions, your situation, and your challenges, and you just got to give me several days to get back to you with a response, because I get a lot of email from the internet, and I also get a lot of it from my paying phone coaching customers, and I obviously got to answer their emails first, but be patient, I will get back to you. And if you want to talk to me right away, the quickest way to get my help is to book a paid phone coaching session. And you can do that by going to my website, click the Products tab, which is going to be at the top of your screen, and just follow the instructions. If you want to get a digital version of my Kindle ebook, you can go to my website, and right underneath the email sign-up box is going to be the box for the Amazon Kindle. It'll have a link that'll take you right to the Amazon Kindle download page. And when you get there, on the right-hand side, there's going to be a button that because you don't have to have a Kindle to read my ebook on your electronic device, your smartphone, your Mac, your PC, because Amazon has been nice enough to create a free Kindle e-reader app, and they pretty much have one for every electronic device that will work. And so once you download the free e-reader app, then your electronic device can basically substitute as a Kindle.